From Wall Street to Main Street, this is LALATE.
It's a huge night for June 20th, 2022, as a major warning signal comes out about the energy shortage, why the price of your utilities this December may be a shocker across the board. In tonight's recording, we go over the major breaking news as the problem with oil is not just filling up the gas tank, it's also heating the home this winter, and why you gotta pivot and get that money tonight. In tonight's recording, we go over the breaking news of that front, and the front is that the situation for the energy shortage is getting very dramatic by the minute. That's why you got to get that forced stimulus check that is in every U.S. state. And tonight we go over those forced stimulus checks in every U.S. state. Recession's coming, housing market crash is coming, and also stock market crash is fully underway. But you need to get that forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. How do you do it? In tonight's recording, we're going to do three things. We're going to go over where this economy is, where it's going, and how to get that forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. In tonight's recording, we'll explain the three phases of this economy. One right now, the second one coming, and the third one in January, it's recession. But the situation at tonight is even more troubling across the board. It is the falling situation for gas shortage, and that gas shortage may cause major financial problems for Americans who cannot heat their homes this winter. What do you need to do? I'll have the latest details in tonight's recording. Meantime, we have new guidance as the situation for the Federal Reserve may become a little bit more entangled. The inflation's going higher, the CPI is going higher, and J-Powell's raising interest rates. Heading into recession? Yes. Likely? Yes. But Americans are becoming a little bit too focused on the word recession when they need to get a stimulus check. Step one, study with me over this big broadcast. Step two, become a member. Go under the video and click the link and join this channel. And step three, get that forced stimulus check that's in every U.S. state. Tonight, we have a lot of major breaking news. I know it's a holiday, but the situation on the energy shortage announced today is a shocker. You're going to hear it for the first time in tonight's recording. Plus, you'll get new guidance on how to get this big money. It's a big broadcast for June 20th, 2022, and it starts right now. And good evening, everybody. Beautiful night here for June 20th, 2022 from the shores of Santa Monica, California. Hope you're having a beautiful day. And boy, there's a lot of breaking news. Stay with me over this 1 hour broadcast. We're going to get those forced stimulus checks in every U.S. state. You deserve them. Go under this video, subscribe, then become a member, join this channel. And number three, stay over this big broadcast. We got a lot of money to go over. And America's most watched show for financial news, you found it. It's Evenings LA, that does three things in every recording. Goes over where this economy is right now. We're going to go over that data in just a second. Then goes over how to prepare for where it's going. We're going to go over that as well. And then get your big money. Later in this recording, we're going to go over those benefits going up. How much are they going up and how likely are they to go higher across the board? There's a lot going on tonight, but tonight we start with the breaking news, and it's a shocker. The shocker did not come from the United States, but it came from a similar economy. And the guidance is what you need to do tonight. It is huge. And what is it? Energy fears are hitting major countries internationally, and they include the United States, for fears that the prices could go out of control this winter. And we're not talking about the price of gasoline at the pump. We already know that situation. We're talking about the price of oil to heat your home, gasoline to warm your home. And that energy shortage, that alarm was sounded this morning by the country of Germany, and the announcement was a shocker. What happened? Let's make sure you understand how significant this statement is. It came in from the leadership in Germany that are all green energy, green elected officials. They're against increasing coal production. And they said, the problem about the energy shortage, gasoline shortage, going into the winter is so severe that our citizens of Germany may freeze to death, we need to start increasing coal production. These are green elected officials who would never say this, and they're saying, I don't care what you say about my political history, it's a state of emergency. Now, back in the United States, what's happening tonight? What's happening tonight is we do not have a shortage of gasoline or heating oil such that you're not going to have enough to heat your home, but the prices are certainly going to go out of control. I know it's a stretch for me in June 2020 when you're outside today enjoying, or not enjoying, 90-degree weather is in much of the country. But tonight I'm going to show you why tonight, starting tonight, you need to start getting utility assistance, check Cs, forced stimulus checks in every U.S. state, starting tonight, because of why the energy situation is going to go so badly, so quickly later this year. First, let's go over the numbers. If the raising up of gasoline at the pump mirrors what's going to happen with your utility bill, expect your utility bill to go up at least 300% later this year. That means if you're paying $300 for heating oil or to heat your home with gas last year, you can expect $1,000 a month. Severe? Absolutely severe. So in this recording, I'm going to go over how you get this money and how you prepare for it starting today, not later. And we have breaking news on this as well. I'm going to show you the guidance of how you do deals, how you establish alliances, how you establish rapports, and how that helps you over the other person who waits too late to get this money. The comments from Economy Minister Robert Habeck, who is one of the key chief gurus in Germany over the energy situation, says, you know what? I know I am a green politician. I know I would never say this, but the situation is going to be really tight this winter. And it is bitter, but it's almost necessary in this situation to reduce gas consumption. However, we must do everything we can do to store as much gas as possible in summer or winter. Did you hear that quote right? Yes. This is a guy that would never say anything like that. He says it's important to create as much gas as possible and store it because we're going to have big problems later this year. There's 10 situations right now, and this is the result of Putin's war of aggression, but there's no mistake. And so what are they calling for? They're calling for, and they are doing right tonight in Germany, increasing fossil fuels that have the highest carbon footprint of any of the coal-producing items. Yes, this is not a pro-environment, pro-climate situation, but it's being said by pro-climate individuals because they understand their citizens could freeze to death later this year because they do not have enough oil, heating oil, to provide for their citizens. Their consumption is down, even though they're funded by Nord Stream, that pipeline that goes from Russia right into Germany. It's down nearly 70%. They still have a little bit. In the United States, this is what you need to know tonight. We're not going to run out of gasoline or oil to heat your homes later this winter, but there's going to be a shortage. And as there's a shortage, the price is going to go up. And if the international price of Brent crude is going from $120 a barrel internationally right tonight to $185, then expect the price to go even higher than where it is right now. Just on tonight's numbers, year to date, gasoline's up 300%. So if that's the case, your bill could go up 300%. It could go even higher. Can you afford that? Of course you can. You can't. And so that is why you have to get a forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. But tonight I'm going to give you new guidance about how getting that check today does 3 other things for you that's really good. We'll be going over that in just a second. These energy fears for winter are very severe. It's a major warning. And you are in a good situation by watching today's broadcast starting right now. Why? Because the situation is going to be a storm out to sea, and that storm out to sea involves 3 stages. I have identified on this channel 3 stages of what's going on with this economy between now and next year. Stage 1 is currently underway. Stage 2 starts in September, and Stage 3 ends in January. What is the difference of the 3 stages? Let's go over each of them. Stage 1 right now, between now and September, involves the downward spiral of this economy, when this economy is going to change very dramatically, very quickly. People are going to get whiplash. They're going to get shocked because they may not realize this is not the economy of February. This is not the economy of March. The great news for you as you're watching this channel is you have a pre-warning. You have a 90-day pre-warning before the surf crashes, and that surf is phase 2 coming in 90 days from now in September. What's going to happen in September? That starts phase 2, and that would look like the severity of the economic downturn of the pandemic in March of 2020. That's how severe it is, and that is why my foot is very heavy on that tough love in this video. It's imperative you get these 4 stimulus checks in every U.S. state. It's imperative you get this money right now. It's imperative you don't wait 90 days, 9 days, 9 weeks, not even 9 hours. You get these 4 stimulus checks in every U.S. state. You stay the second half of this video. When we go over these checks, you become a member. You go right into the video right now. Click the link, become a Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP, because this is going to be very serious, folks. This is going to be very serious. It's not going to be a walk in the park. The difference is, the good news is you have a pre-warning. When you went into lockdown in 2020, there was no pre-warning, and you had to struggle very quickly to find the money. This time around, you do have a pre-warning, and I'm giving it to you right now. Phase 2 starts in September, but Phase 3 will be the most severe. Phase 3 will be a recession. I was the first U.S. broadcaster of financial news to record there's a recession coming. I started saying that in January and February. Tonight, it's a certainty that it's happening. The White House had Joe Biden speak about it on Friday and Janet Yellen speak about it on Sunday. I'll be going over those comments in a second, but a recession is likely. Why? Because if gas stays high, the CPI stays high, and the CPI stays high, the Federal Reserve raises rates. And the Federal Reserve raises rates, we go into recession. What you need to do right tonight is prepare yourself over this phase 1 right now, and I'll tell you how you prepare your household during this phase 1 right now. You need to get ready financially this moment. You need to watch every video of this channel that's new, starting with mornings and afternoons and evenings every day. And you need to know where this economy is every moment. If you blink an eye for 30 days and say, I've been paying attention to the economy for 30 days, it could be a totally different economy. What do you need to do starting right tonight? Get every stimulus that's available, number 1. 2, raise your savings. Do not spend money if you don't have to. Increase your savings. And number 3, remove ARDs. I'll go over what ARDs are in just a second. The good news is, later in this video, we're going to go over the raising of your benefits, but I don't want that to cut into that money. I want you to get as much money as possible. There's 3 different groups of people that watch this channel. 1 are employees, 2 are business owners, and 3 that are retirees. Employees, what should you do right tonight? Right tonight, you should secure yourself with certainty that there's another business that will employ you down the road if you're laid off, because there is no unemployment stimulus anymore in this economy. There's no PUA, FPUC, PEUC going forward from 2020. If you're a small business owner, make sure that you're cutting your costs dramatically tonight and reducing your debt, because there is no EIDL and no EIDL grants. Finally, if you're a retiree, SSI, SSDI, veterans benefits, or else, remember that all the wonderful programs of 2020 that helped you in time of need are gone. And they are mortgage forbearance, gone. A bank can foreclose on your home now. Eviction moratorium, gone. A landlord can evict you. And one of the best items I rarely even talk about, that utilities agreement during the pandemic, gone. During the pandemic, if you were behind on your electric bill, your water bill, or any of your utility bills, $100, let's say, for example, they could not turn it off. There was a deal between the government and the states and the utility companies that if a person's behind on their bills, you cannot turn off their utility service. That was an agreement during the pandemic. The agreement, for the most part, is no longer there. So imagine if you go into winter, as we were talking about earlier in this recording, you think your utility bill for the gas is going to be $300 because that's what it was last year, and then lands. It's $1,000. You don't have $1,000. You were ready with $300 as a financial burden. You really don't have $1,000. You struggle, and then they turn it off. And you know what happens if you're in the thick of winter with no heat. It's not a good situation. So what's important to understand is that those items aren't there anymore, and I need you to get all these items. I'm going to show you in the latest recording why you got to get these items as well. Let me tell you where this economy is and where it's going between now and just 90 days from now. Housing sales will dramatically fall. We're in a housing bubble, and the housing is going to burst. We're already down 17% year to date. Auto sales are going to get even worse, down 24%. They're going to get worse. And gas prices are going to surge higher. Yes, I'm predicting $10 a gallon, and it's not going to stop there. Its next stop is potentially even higher. In the next 90 days, expect the following events to happen. First, expect unemployment to grow, gas prices to surge, and interest rates to go higher. Mortgage rates will go higher, recessionary winds will pick up, and price of goods will go higher as well. Certain things we just sort of know are happening. And that's why it's sort of easy to predict the situation. And this is why I love that you're watching tonight's video, because you have understood two things you got to do for your household. You need to know every minute of every day where this economy is. You need to know what this economy is doing every moment of the day. You don't check in on the economy sort of like not checking in with the pet or not checking in with the grandchild. You may not know what's going on with it, and 90 days from it, it could be absolutely a very bad situation. So you need to know everything that's happening by watching the videos, and you need to get the money, and you need to prepare yourself accordingly. We know that the Federal Reserve is looking at inflation. We know also that inflation goes up based upon price of gasoline. And with that, if there is no deal, because there is still no deal, and there is still likely no deal on gasoline is going higher. And so let's go over the analysis right now. If gasoline continues to go higher, which it's not stopping because we have a shortage of gasoline, then what's called the Consumer Price Index, the CPI, continues to go higher. This is very simple. Gasoline goes higher when there's a shortage of gasoline. There's a shortage of gasoline right now, 3.5 million barrels of gasoline per day. If there's a gasoline shortage, then inflation goes higher. Where is inflation tracked? In a number called the Consumer Price Index, the CPI. It's released once a month. It was released 2 weeks ago on this channel. The CPI tells you how much inflation is going up. And inflation is determined by gas and your price of goods going up. As gas goes up, CPI goes up. As the CPI goes up, then the Federal Reserve looks at it and says, inflation is going up too much, I need to raise interest rates. As they raise interest rates, they send you into recession. And that situation is very troubling across the board. But also troubling tonight is the following analysis that's coming out left and right. You know, it's times like this, you got to have the right information, and you have to have a lot of it. You really do. And wrong information could lead you on the wrong side of the tracks. What's the wrong information tonight? Even though the financial markets were closed today because it's a holiday, there are a lot of news articles out for financial companies. And what did they basically talk about? They talked about positivity to the extent of sugarcoatedness. When there's a reality check that needs to be done, what do they put out? What type of news stories did they put out? They said the housing market crash is really not that bad as 2020, 2007. It's not that bad. They talked about that Bitcoin found a resistance level for 3 days or 2 days or 24 hours. Oh, really? It talked about that auto may find a rebound and that, travel and leisure may find a rebound. Wonderful. Folks, we got to do the reality check. There's two ways to approach your money. Conservative or risky. I bet you like conservative, of course. You don't want to risk your money. So you're conservative by being cautious about the situation. This is what you need to avoid right tonight. A lot of very bad financial reports out today where the report itself does not have bad data. It's the reporting is bad reporting. One report out today said that the housing market is not that bad because it's just not as bad as 2007. If you lose the house, it's bad. Who cares what year it compares to? Here's what you need to know is that we had the 2011 housing market crash, and that situation was very severe. And it's going to continue to be severe until the builders or the home builders don't understand the situation. They're not understanding it, and the housing market continues to get worse. That was the first report out today about housing, trying to sugarcoat a situation that's not good and trying to say it's a little bit better. We also had a sugarcoated report about stock market crash and also crypto crash. What was the narrative? Much the same. Oh, well, Bitcoin found a resistance level of $20,000 a coin overnight. Congratulations. It's 1 hour. It found a resistance level. Or your favorite stock is holding up for 2 days. Let's be very frank. We're in a bear market tonight, folks. We're in a bear market, and we're not, repeat, not in a recession yet. In a bear market, you go down, your stocks go down 26%. In a recession, you go down not 26%, you go down 48%. And so people who think that they have found the worst situation of this economy today are in big trouble because this is just phase one. This, my friends, is just phase one. And the truth of the matter is that when you run the polls, when you look at the polls, the vast majority of the consumers believe that this is as bad as the economy is going to get. Nope. This is just phase one. Phase 2 is going to be worse, and phase 3 is going to be more significant across the board. Why tonight am I delivering a different analysis when talking about energy? The reason why is because when getting money, when getting stimulus, there's an approach to doing it that is far more than just the money. It is also the process. And tonight I'm going to go over a little bit more of the process in a way that has not been covered on E-Means LALATE for many, many months, almost a year. The process of getting money involves you overcoming some of your fears. Sometimes you're not used to picking up the phone and asking for money. I know this because I had it covered on this channel. Back in December 2020, when this channel was relatively new, and I told people, pick up the phone and call. They said, call? Why do I have to call? Can't I just hide behind a keyboard and just press some buttons? I said, no, you have to pick up the phone and call and ask for rent assistance because of COVID, mortgage assistance because of COVID. A lot of people were a little bit uneasy, getting butterflies in their stomach when I first said that. And it took a little bit of time. They picked up the phone. The person was nice on the other side of the phone. And they said, sure, let me give you some money. Wow, I did that. Then they realized they could do it again and again and again. What was that? It was learning a skill. And we don't often talk about learning a skill as often as we should on this channel. But that was learning a skill. When I talk about picking up the phone and asking for heating oil and gas assistance in the home, in the month of June, when it's 80 degrees outside, what am I talking about? I am talking about skills and relationship and preparing yourself financially for another round. Let's go over the 3 things that's brand new tonight. First, I want you tonight not only to go into this video, subscribe, and become a member, but I want you to figure out who do you get your heating oil from, if that's how your home is heated, or your gas bill. Who does it come from? Then I want you to go down into check see in the membership newsletter. You're going to see the 6 places to reach out to. Then I also want you to reach out to the nonprofits. And I want you to get that heating oil gas bill for 1 round of 3 to 4 months, including this month, paid. I know it's not going to be a lot of money. You don't have the heat on right now. It's June. I mean, who has the heat on? What's the bill going to be? $20? $40? I don't care. I want you to train yourself in the skill to picking up the phone and getting a $20 bill paid right now. Second reason, so I want you to establish that relationship. I want you to establish that relationship with that person on the other side of the phone who got you that $20 for 3 months of your gas bill now in the thick of summer. You know where I'm going with this, of course. Because when winter comes around, when September comes around, you're going to pick up the phone and call again and say, hey, it was me again from June. Oh, I remember you. You're a nice person. How are you? Very nice. I'm having problems with my gas bill. Now it's September. How much is it? Oh, it's a lot. It's $1,000. Oh, wow. Let me see what I can do. How many months do you need assistance? Can you get me to carry me into early next year? Let me see what I can do. It's about establishing a relationship. This is the second part of the equation. The third one is about positioning you better than everyone else that's going to come knocking and calling and screaming and crying for their heating oil bill and their gas bill to be paid in the thick of winter. Right tonight, you're watching this channel. Right tonight, you're preparing your family financially for where this economy is going. But someone else, perhaps your neighbor, is at the beach, just enjoying the beautiful sun. They're not thinking about how to prepare for a heating oil bill in November. That's the difference. When November hits, they're going to get that bill, and they're not going to be able to understand how big that bill is. They're going to pick up the phone and call one of the places, potentially in the newsletter, and they may be very angry, very irate, potentially in tears, and they'll have to wait in the back of the line. You, however, will have already established a relationship with that payor that may have paid you $20, $30 a month right now. Number 2, you have already developed the skill set. And number 3, you may have actually done this with a few organizations. You may have done it with 2 or 3 nonprofits and also with the county, the city, or the one utility company bill. This is how you prepare. You and I know, absolutely know, based upon the comments from Germany, that there's a major energy crisis happening in later this winter. And it's not just the car. The energy crisis is the situation on your utility bills. And if you cannot pay those utility bills, guess what? As I said earlier in this video, they can turn them off. This is not the pandemic. They can turn off the utility bills. And that is why only I only you, only this community where people really care about each other, would we be talking about paying one of the biggest bills you're going to have this year, getting it paid or lined up to be paid now, months ahead of time. It's your heating oil and your utility bill, your heating oil and your gas bill for later this year. Now, you can also practice right now because you may have a big air conditioning bill, so you may have a big electric bill as well. I want you to practice with that additionally in tonight's recording. This is how you do things ahead of time. Now, also at issue is that in addition to becoming a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP, going under this video, becoming a member, listening to the videos and making sure you're up to date on everything that's happening left and right, I want you to understand what's happening elsewhere. And what's happening elsewhere is an obsession with the word under the screen. It says recession. This obsession with this word recession, obsession with recession, I think it should be on a t-shirt, is really going to leave a lot of people on the wrong side of the analysis. Why? In the last 7 days, we've seen the White House, we've seen Treasury, Janet Yellen, and we have seen Jay Powell. We've also seen broadcast financial news reporters all obsessed with the word recession to make it look like if it's not a recession, you're fine. If it's not a recession today, you're fine. Oh no, you're in big trouble. Let me tell you what's going on. A recession is a particular economic event that involves a series of permutations, which I'm not really going to go over right now. But what's important to understand is that the path into recession is very severe. It's a very bad economic time, the path into recession. And even the path up to recession is a very, very severe situation. What's going on is that Janet Yellen, the president, and Jay Powell and broadcast media is making it look like good or bad. Recession bad, everything else is good. No, folks. No, folks. Not the case. Do not, and you know me, I've always been the positive spirit, I've always been the motivator, but I'm also not the sugarcoater. I'm the reality check guy. The situation is that this economy is getting really bad very quickly, and even if we do not eventually go into recession, people are going to lose their homes, people are going to lose their cars, people are going to lose their business, and people are going to lose their employment. And what's important to note is that there's a little bit too much sugarcoating going on out there. On Sunday, Janet Yellen appeared on broadcast media and said, you know what, we may be able to avoid the recession. She made it sound like everything was wonderful. She talked about how wonderful the employment situation is. It's not. There's 200,000 new jobless claims per week, Janet. Joseph Biden appeared on broadcast media on Friday, saying we're the strongest economy of the globe. But you're not the strongest economy if you can't buy any gasoline. Let's make this very clear. You could be the richest economy of the globe, and if you don't buy 3.5 million barrels of gasoline missing per day, you're saying your economy in a recession because we need gasoline. Then also on Friday, Jay Powell, the head of the Federal Reserve, appeared on broadcast media and says he gained inflation down to 2%, and that 2% will be with us in December. Get ready. Congratulations. We're going to have a party. Ridiculous nonsense. I've been saying this since February. You're not getting 2% inflation. You're getting 4%. Department of Labor and the Congressional Budget Office both subscribe to my belief. What is going on here? There's a little bit too much, it's too happy time going on with a lot of people. And that type of narrative is going, if you listen to it too much, is going to get you in big trouble. Bitcoin found a resistance level for 2 hours last night. Isn't that great news? Yeah, just 2 hours last night. What's going to happen to it in the next 2 years? Mortgage rates are really, homes are doing better than they were during the calamities of the Civil War. Excuse me, what's the analysis here? The labor market is one of the best times of a generation. Yeah, but it's also not that good either. There's 200,000 new jobless claims and 1.3 million. You see what's going on. It's a little bit too much sugarcoating. And whether the sugarcoating is for political advantage, for political advancement, or whether it's financial analysts who just want you to buy their products. Remember, there's a lot of financial analysts that want you to buy their mutual fund, buy their stock, buy their corporate dividend. They just want you to buy, and they may not understand, and they may not really have your fiduciary interests in mind, which is, hey, just don't be buying. What should you be doing as a family right tonight? These are the following events that you should be doing as a family to prepare for this economy. We're going to go over the details of it starting right now. First, what you need to do is immediately eliminate any adjustable debt instruments in your household. What is that? I call those ARDs. You need to remove any adjustable rate debt in the home. If you have credit card debt, get rid of it. If you have car loans that are flexible base, get rid of it. If you have a mortgage rate that is flexible, try to get it to fix. Then increase your savings. Increase your savings by cutting your costs and get as much stimulus as possible. What you need to know is you have 90 days to do this. And you don't do it in 90 days. You don't do it in 9 weeks. You don't do it in 9 days. You don't do it in 9 hours. You do it right now. You go under this video, subscribe, you become a member, and you stay for me in the second half of this video as we get that forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. Also, the second half of this video, we're going to address more about mindset, and also going to address what's going to happen in the next 90 days for people who don't move quickly. Finally, I'm going to analyze a situation that is very, very important tonight, and that situation is, if we don't get gasoline, what happens to this economy? 3.5 million barrels of gasoline missing per day. If we don't get them, and we continue to not get them month after month, what's happening in this economy? That's coming up in the second half of this video. I care about you greatly, and you're doing a great job. Congratulations to all people who got the stimulus money in the last few days. If you got some, go get some more. Become a member under the video, join this channel, and I'll be back with you in 60 seconds. As America's most watched show for financial news in prime time, the Evenings LA continues. But first, here's a little bit about the community page. For June 20th, 2022, hope you're having a beautiful night. I'll see you back in 60 seconds.
If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE.
And the excitement continues right now for June 20th, 2022 from the shores of Santa Monica, California. How are you? Good evening. Hope the weather is good where you are. I know it's very hot, but hopefully you're staying cool. In the big second half of this video, we're going to go over those forced stimulus checks in every U.S. state. We're going to go over the raising up of your benefits if you're on SSI, SSDI, VA. We're going to go over the situation for gasoline, and then we're going to go over that looming recession. We got a lot to go over in the second half. I hope you became a member during the commercial break. If you didn't, do it right now. Go into there and subscribe. Then hit that join button, join the channel, become a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP, and get that incredible newsletter Monday through Friday so you get those incredible checks. And we're going to go over those incredible checks starting right now. It brings us back to March of this year, when my wonderful viewers did exactly what they were taught to do. Get money when times are good. Times are not horrific now in June. They're going to be very bad in September. They're going to be horrific in January. But back in March, viewers said, LA, they're knocking that Build Back Better Act down. Can you get me some forced stimulus checks? And I looked high and low and I found them. There's different ways stimulus checks can come to you. Two of them are the ways that I got viewers' checks. From the president by executive order and also from the states. My focus was threefold. One, making sure I get big checks, because small checks aren't going to get you through this pandemic of mess. This downward spiral, phase 1 or phase 2, is not going to get you through with a $200 check. Number two, I want to make sure that there's big, great eligibility. The more viewers, the better that qualify for these checks. As Kat says, you're great at doing eligibility. She's a longtime viewer. Here you go. Single individual, 75,000 less, go get them. Married couple, 150,000 less annual income, go get them. Rent or own, with children, without children, on benefits, SSI, go get them. And finally, the importance of getting the checks and then getting more checks thereafter. Later in this video, you're going to meet Nisi, Margaret, Johnny, Lorraine. They're the true embodiment of the Purple Power Spirit. Getting checks and keep on going back and getting those checks. And with that, let's go over these incredible checks, starting with the very first one. I give them a lettering system, and the first lettering is Check A. Check A is a wonderful 4 stimulus check in every U.S. state, $6,500 to $12,000. Wonderful. Single individual, 75,000 or less, go get it. Married couple, 150,000 or less, go get it. If you rent, if you own, go get this incredible check. Again, it's Check A. $6,500 to $12,000. This homeowner's grant check. How do you get this incredible check? Step 1, you go under the video and subscribe. Step 2, you go down under the video where it says join this channel and you become a member. Step 3, you go into that membership newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where it says Check A, and you click the link. It's all in the membership newsletter. It'll send you into the nationwide website. You choose your state. You choose the homeowner's weatherizing grant, and you're ready to rock and roll. Routing times are about 1 week thereafter. Then you're not going to stop there. You're going to go get Check B. Wow, look at these incredible checks. $15,000 to $80,000. The average view of this channel is getting about $66,000 to $80,000. It's a 4 stimulus check in every U.S. state. Single individual, 75,000 less, go get it. Married couple, 150,000 less, go get it. It's called the homeowner's grant check. And if you're on SSI, SSDI, go get it. How do you get it? You know the routine. Step 1, subscribe to this channel. Go right into the video, hit the subscribe button. Be part of the hundreds of thousands of viewers who watch this channel on a regular basis to make sure they know what's going on with the economy at that moment. You can't disappear for a week, a day, a month, and say, what's going on with the economy? Oh my goodness, what did I miss? Yeah, it's too scary. You need to watch mornings, afternoons, evenings, and live at least every day. Step 2, go into the video and become a member. Click the link and become a Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Members on the live chat had that emoji behind their name. And then you go down that newsletter till you find Check B. When you find Check B in the incredible newsletter, you click the link, sends you into the nationwide website, choose your state, and then pounce. And you're not going to stop there yet. You're going to go get Check C. Check C is what we were talking about earlier in this video. It is rent, utilities, there it is, mortgage assistance, homeowners utilities as well, renters utilities, and other items across the board. How do you get this incredible Check C? Step 1, subscribe. Step 2, become a member. Go down the membership newsletter till you see what's detailed at Check C. At Check C, I tell you the 6 places to reach out to that are government institutions. Then I give you the nearly half dozen nonprofits to reach out to. And you're going to make about 15 different phone calls. In there, you'll have different options, multiple options, to get those utility bills starting being paid today. You're not going to just get the bill paid from one place. You're going to get it from multiple places. Viewers have been doing these success stories since day one. This channel has gotten viewers over $50 million to date. We've been getting people money since December 2020, when this was at the time on this channel called Purple Money. Then it became third stimulus, with a lot of money allocated in there for the third stimulus program. And at that time, viewers started to take off. I told viewers I can get you about 15,000. They got on average 45,000. Would you like $30,000 of your rent paid? Then go get Check C. Would you like $7,000, even $15,000 from Mark's brother-in-law of utilities paid? Go get Check C's. SNAP, Mark's brother-in-law is getting $25,000 over 10 years. That's $250,000. What about the combos? Here we go. Meet Nisi. Meet Mark. They're in all the live chats nightly in this channel. Nisi has gone from $23,000 to $50,000. Mark has gone from $32,000 to a wonderful $50,000 to $100,000 to $166 by getting Check B. And then here's Lorraine. She's in the live chats nightly. She's gone from 105 to 120. Incredible success stories. We've had other big success stories like Johnny, who reached out to 3 places between a Monday and a Wednesday, got $45,000, but heard me and did not stop at 3 places. He continued by the end of the week. He got $80,000 by reaching out to 15. The next week, he helped 2 family members get them both $50,000. The week after that, the next month after that, he helped about 24 neighbors and friends. A lot of people, 24, get over $300,000. This is the reality. Go right in this video right now, subscribe, become a member, and get these big monies right across the board. Phases of this economy, the way you survive them is getting big stimulus, saving your money, and removing that debt. November to September is going to be a very severe run downward. It's going to be very severe. And I got to tell you, I think of all the three, this is the one, the first phase may be the most severe, because a lot of people are running fake narratives in their own brain, or they're listening to fake narratives everywhere else. And they think times are just beautiful and that maybe just a bad week for the stock market. No, no, no. Between now and November and September, you got 90 days. You got a big advance notice. You got a big warning. So let's not worry about the person who doesn't want to be informed somewhere else. Let's worry about ourselves. And ourselves is getting our families prepared. Getting as much money for ourselves, our family, right tonight, and getting that money prepared. Because this economy is going to be really bad in 90 days from now. And that is just the start of the action. In the next 90 days, do not expect gasoline to go lower. It's not. It's going to go higher. Do not expect inflation to go lower. It's not. Do not expect any fast action from Congress. Lower in the next 90 days will be consumer confidence. Spending will be going down. Income will be going down. Mortgage rates will go higher. Recessionary winds will pick up, and price of goods will go higher. Why would you wait to deal with the situation? This is where it's going to change very quickly and very abruptly. Last night in the live chat, some people were asking me the following questions. What about Build Back Better Act? Should we advocate for Build Back Better Act? What day is the vote for Build Back Better Act? When is Build Back Better Act going to get done? Here's my takeaway and how I think you should approach the situation. Build Back Better Act will get done. When it will get done, don't know just yet. And there'll be great checks in there. But there's a time horizon. And that time horizon is very tight. It's 90 days. This is June 20th. In 90 days from now, we're in phase 2. And if you are waiting for Build Back Better Act, it's not going to give you a check in 90 days. There's no way they can get you money in 90 days. In turn, you need to get as much money as possible right today. You can't even wait 9 days, let alone 9 weeks, let alone 90 days. You need to become a member. You need to get every amount of checks you can right today, because that is what's going to prepare your household. Now, the difference between you and everyone else is you have that advance warning to get the money right today, to get your family financially stable, to get your job situation lined up. For example, if you have a job, I want you to look for that backup job, see what other employee in the same neighborhood exists, look at whether he or she is financially stable. If you get laid off, go right and get ready to take that job. Don't ask for a salary raise or a hiring bonus, just be able to take that job. If you have any debt, do exactly what I went over earlier in this recording. If you have any savings, make sure you don't dip in that savings. And if you have expenditures, just don't do it. Millennials have been leading by example in the last few days. They reportedly are not buying big purchases like homes or cars because they cannot afford the debt. They're bunkering down dramatically. Tonight, what you need to know is that the situation is going to have a bifurcation of the electorate, a separation of American people. What's going to happen? You're going to have people who are informed and people who are uninformed. You and I don't really have to worry about why that other person is uninformed. Maybe they don't want to spend the time to learn anything. Maybe they live with rose-colored glasses. I don't need to worry about why they're uninformed. But what I need to know and tell you is how they, the uninformed people, are negatively going to impact you. They are negatively going to impact you because when this economy enters phase 2, those people who have not gotten themselves informed over the last few months are going to show up and ask for a lot of stimulus. And the federal government has no obligation to give them stimulus. The federal government has no obligation to give them recessionary stimulus. The federal government has no obligation to do anything. And when they show up in September, they're going to suddenly try to compete with the items I have for you today on this recording. You don't want to do with that. You don't want to deal with that. You want to get all the money today. and you want to establish those relationships with those payors, like the gas company, like the nonprofit that'll pay for the gas bill. So when the situation gets really worse, you have the advantage. The person on the phone will recognize your name, recognize your account. I spoke to you 3 months ago over that person that's just showing up and saying, oh, I need help. How likely is this going to happen? Very likely, in my opinion. Let me tell you why. Gasoline is a very simple equation. If there's a shortage of gasoline, gasoline goes higher. And if the gasoline goes higher, then inflation goes higher because it's part of the consumer price index. And the Federal Reserve sees the CPI higher, as it did last week, and it said it's too high. I need to raise interest rates. It'll continue to raise interest rates, and it sends you in recession. Imagine how close we are to recession across the board. Tonight, what I want to make very clear to you is the following. The situation gasoline is not solved, and I have to just basically accept, in my mind, the reality is that the White House is not going to get solved, nor the Western allies. You saw earlier in this recording when Germany understood there's a problem with the heating oil and pivoted and got a solution lined up. It did nothing for the gasoline situation. What's going on with gasoline? Situation is very clear, and the situation is very clear it's not getting improved. There's 3.5 million barrels of gasoline missing per day because of the embargo of Russian oil. 3.5 million barrels of gasoline are missing per day. What does that mean? It means every day we have more missing gasoline than the day before. The only way to get missing gasoline replaced is to buy it from one of 5 countries. We, as the United States, do not have enough gasoline in the ground to pump out. It's Venezuela, it's Brazil, it's OPEC+, it's Iran, and it's also Saudi Arabia. The White House has emphatically made very clear it's not doing a deal for any of those 5 countries. So for our purposes, we don't have a deal to bring gasoline down. The Western allies have not done a deal with any of those 5 countries either. So if you're seeing $7 a gallon at the pump right now, tonight for gasoline, my prediction is it's going higher. My prediction is it's going higher because if no one gets you the gas and it's still missing, well, then it's going to go higher. I mean, it's a simple part of the equation. We're just a few weeks away from 4th of July weekend, and then another holiday after that. Imagine how high the gasoline prices will go. International Brent crude is supposed to go to 185 a gallon, says Wall Street. I'm saying about the same. It's only 120 tonight or 118. It came back down a little bit lower. But imagine 185, what it means to the price of gasoline at the pump. Tonight it's $5.10 or $5 in U.S. unleaded AAA national average. Is all in the newsletter. I predict it's going to go higher. Remember, gasoline is causing all the problems in this economy. Every problem that's happening. Gasoline goes higher. CPI stays high, which is inflation. Federal Reserve raises interest rates. And this is why things continue to erode across the board. Now, amidst all this, there's actually one benefit to gasoline higher. And it's, you don't even want to call it a benefit, but the situation is that it does benefit you in some regard. And which item is it? It's the raising up of your benefits if you're on any type of government benefits, SSI, SSDI, veterans benefits, RB or more. We know tonight that your benefits are going up at least 8%, says the Social Security Chief Actuary, Stephen Goss. Goss says your benefits are going up at least 8% because of the Consumer Price Index number, the CPI, released for the month of May last week. Again, the CPI is a number that is composed based upon the price of gasoline going up. That was May. Gasoline's much higher in June. Pretty simple, right? Yeah. So the June number will be released in July. The way your benefits are definitively determined, the raising up of them, is based upon a number called the CPI-W, released in the months of July, August, and September. CPI-W sounds familiar, it should. It's a subsection of the CPI. What is Goss doing? Goss is looking at the May number released 2 weeks ago for the CPI-W. And he saw it's really high. It was. And he says, based upon that number, I believe that your COLA would come in at about 8%. When I look at the same number for the month of May, and I look at what's happened to the Western Allies, I look at what's happened to the White House with gasoline, my takeaway is a little bit different. My analysis is, if gasoline is still not bought, if we're still missing 3.5 million barrels of gasoline a day, then how the world are we going to have the same CPI-W in the month of July? It has to go a little bit higher, or it has to be a little bit higher than it was in May, which is currently right now, June. And if nothing that Jay Powell is doing is going to work, which I don't believe it is, because raising interest rates does not bring down the price of gasoline, then if the gasoline continues to track higher or stay higher, I believe the CPI-W will come in closer to 9%. Wow. A nonprofit, nonpartisan organization called the Senior League says it's going to track at about 8.6%. The takeaway is that the three of us are all looking at the same number, and we don't know definitively what it'll be until July. We will watch that number as a family in the month of July and see what is that CPI-W doing. Want to learn more about it? It's all, of course, in the membership newsletter. Go right in this video and become a member, where you'll learn about how this number works and how it's going to go up. Meantime, also in the membership newsletter are two bodies of legislation just introduced days ago. One from Liz Warren and the other one from Bernie Sanders, from another legislator, that proposes to swap the CPI-W for CPI-E that would raise your benefits up another lift right now and lock in a better rate. Fascinating across the board. Will it get more traction as the economy downturns? I don't know. All I know is I need to look out for your concerns. You need to look out for your fellow members' concerns and watch for your family as well. Go right in this video right now and become a member. Then get that membership newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via the YouTube alerts. It's Pacific Standard Time. So if you're on the East Coast, it's 10 o'clock. If you're in the Midwest, it's 9 o'clock Central. You'll get an alert from YouTube. It says New LA Post. Then lower in the alert, it'll say, click here to go to the post. The alert, the first line will say LA Newsletter. They'll have a picture of a swimmer or a surfer. And then lower, they'll say, click here to go to the post. You click and you go right to the post. Do three things. Subscribe, go into this video, hit that alert button so that's set to all notifications, and make sure you become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casino VIP. It's not like this that we have to really learn a lot and we have to advance ourselves a lot. Advancing ourselves a lot is by establishing that relationship with that payor that covers the gas bill at home, the heating oil bill at home. If that's the major bill that's going to really kick your socks badly in December, that's the one you want to start getting money from right tonight as a member. If your home runs on electricity more than gas, then it needs to be the electric company and the nonprofits. Remember, you're going to do both. You're going to do the company and also the nonprofits, and also your city, county, and state as well. You're going to do all of them at the same time. Ultimately get paid by one of them as many months as you can, around 3 or 4 months. Then remember that relationship. Write the person's name down, make notes, and you're going to be going back to that person in September. What else is going to be happening in September? People are going to be losing their homes, losing their jobs, losing their business, and showing up and say, do you have PUA? No. PUC? No. LWA? No. EIDL grant? No. FPUC? No. What do I do? You move very quickly. You become a member, and you hope that some of these items I've been covering on this channel since the month of March are still around. I don't know how much money this money is going to still stay around, so you need to become a member and get this money on a regular basis. Use Johnny, Margaret, Lorraine, Nisi, and Mark as your inspiration. They get money, and they go back and get money. I want you to dedicate your time in a daily basis of watching the new shows on this channel, whether it's mornings or afternoons or evenings or live, so you know exactly what's happening in this economy that day. You can't miss a few days. Too many things happen so dramatically. And then I want you to spend the rest of the day by picking up the phone and getting more checks. If it's check C, getting more check C's on a regular basis. And with that, stay cool, prepare accordingly, prepare yourself for the downward spiral of this economy, and get as much information as you can from LALATE Nightly. Coming up later tonight is Evenings Extra at 8 o'clock, Sunset at 9 o'clock, Strange Stillness at 7, and Countdown at 6. And Evenings LALATE, of course, every night at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, God bless. Hope you had a beautiful holiday today. Stay cool. Get as much money as you can. Prepare yourself financially. Stay informed, stay educated, and keep on smiling. And stay with LA for more.